Hey everyone, it's a beautiful day out, so I'm walking outside in the sun, clear skies. It's the second day of this December, and it feels like spring out. It's wild. Um, there's a little chilly wind, so I got my hood up and everything, but the sun is amazing. Should probably just get more of that. Anyway, I haven't made a video in a while, and I've really come to the realization that that's really what I need to be doing, is making more videos on the regular. So I'm going to try to make a lot more. And there was stuff I wanted to talk about. There's topics I want to make videos on I haven't gotten around to yet, and I thought it was going to be the next thing I did, and something came to my mind that seems more important than the stuff I wanted to do. I wanted to talk about how everyone has their own firmament, but that video I'm just not ready to do yet. Another thing about making these videos is I have to be in the right state of mind. It's fucking loud as fuck, all these damn lawnmowers out here. But I gotta be in the right state of mind. Well, not just like good mood or something, but like my consciousness just has to be in the state where it's getting all this information, which that comes and goes. So, you know, some of the times I really get all these ideas to make videos, it's when it's just like non-stop downloads I'm getting. But then that slows down, and then it always comes back. Happens in cycles. But anyway, it's a long enough intro. I want to talk about the mark of the beast and the end times, the Antichrist, the beast, the false prophet, the New World Order. The reason I want to talk about this is because, well, it seems to be an inevitable reality. It seems to be part of our reality, no matter how many realities we shift over, or how much good we produce in our own reality. This seems like one of those things that's a constant. Like it's I don't know if it's really avoidable. So across all timelines, maybe they don't happen at the same exact time, but they're across all timelines. This is an inevitable, unchangeable event that will occur, and this seems to be happening and playing out right now. I mean, we're just still in the beginning of it, sort of. But I mean, look, you look at all the conspiracies and then the One World Order and all the fucking dark shit. Back in the days of blaming everything on, you know, Luciferian pedophiles and shit, which, not to say that those people don't exist, because they do, but there was just like, I don't know, I feel like a lot of truthers were stuck in this blaming all of the Luciferian fucking pedophiles, and they're everywhere conspiring, and I mean, yeah, that is definitely a factor, but it is not entirely what's going on. I'd say it's more just how there's a Holy Spirit, there's an unholy spirit as well. There is seeming to be like a entropic force in our reality. There's also an angelic good force. When you follow the path of your intuition, that's the good force. But there's also this doubt, this lack, this fear, this other force, the dark side, or whatever they call in Star Wars, basically. I mean, anyway, the point of talking about this is I want people to really consider the possibility of this stuff in Revelation playing out. And there's a lot of other information out there about it, and a lot of prophecies about it, other than what's in the Bible. Imagine what they took out of the Bible, and imagine how much prophecies have maybe even been covered up by the religions, but there's a lot that are there, and that have been preserved in times when the religions were less corrupt than they are right now. But the corruption has always been there because, like I said, it's an entropic force, and it's setting up. So if you've studied the conspiracy stuff in the One World Order, you've seen how they've been setting the world up for this, they've been setting the stage for the Antichrist to appear. So, basically, what is this fucking, can I say the word, the VACCINE? That's been, going around, and not only that, but what, just the whole mental hysteria and craze that's been happening. It's like the Wetiko that Native Americans talked about, the mass hysteria. There's like this mass craziness that is enveloping in the world. And there's a movie called Apocalypto that I feel like captures what the Wetiko is, the mass hysteria. Fucking lawnmowers over there. Sorry, guys. Yeah, but this movie, Apocalypto, captures that perfectly. The Wetiko. Mass hysteria, which is what's going on. I mean, they say that there's a virus. It's more like it's a computer virus. It's a mind virus. If you've looked into the germ theory, and how it's not really what... Listen, like... People think that it's fact. It's not. It's theory. And it's certainly not even really a very provable theory. There might be factors to it. I don't know. But from mostly what I've seen, germ theory was fucking wrong. It's not germs that cause these viruses and these sicknesses. Most of us probably here know that by now. I don't know. But, it's the body detoxing itself. The germs are actually a part of that, the biology. Shit, dude, they might actually be helping. This idea you want to kill the germs, it's like the germs are eating away the toxins. The reason the germs are there is because the body is the right environment for those germs to germinate. You can't put a seed in the wrong kind of soil and expect it to grow. So in the same sense, these germs are gonna start multiplying if they're needed to, if the environment's right for them. And you gotta alkalize the body, and it's the alkaline and acidic. But hey, that's not really what this video is about. And we could go into more of that later. But look at what's going on in the world. There's people being told they gotta take this shot. If they don't, they can't work. Or they can't leave the house. Dude, we're in some fucking 1939 Poland shit. Like, this is some Nazi Germany shit going down. But it's across many countries, which is probably what happened back then too. A lot of people, though, who predicted the end times also predicted those world wars. So the mark of the beast, though, I don't know if it is the actual vaccine, but, I basically saw it as that, like, dude, like, first of all, why the fuck would you even want to risk it, just on the chance that it is? And I don't necessarily think that this is it, although it could be, but I also think most of the people who get the jab are probably going to go ahead and get the mark of the beast, like, 99% of them, because they already believe in this fucking system, and they really want things to go back to how they were. And that's kind of part of the problem with the end times prophecies. They say when shit gets like real bad, there's gonna be all these people begging for mercy. They're gonna be like, oh, I just want relief from this, like, please help us, government. But the problem is they're only gonna want things to go back to how they were. That's what their idea of mercy is. And the problem with that is how things were, or how things are, is, yeah, sure, there's a lot of people that are enjoying life and they're living luxury, but there's a lot of people suffering too. The system is twisted and satanic. So, like, the people who want the mercy, they just want to go back to this fucking sick satanic system. And a lot of these people, all these black sheep like me and, you know, some others who are like, I'm taking this shit. We already knew the system was corrupt and false. We don't want to go back to that. So it's like, oh, if you're going to fucking, like, kick us out or banish us or whatever for not taking this shit, so be it. I don't want to be part of the fucking system anyway. It's just like reality is now like, hey, giving us a little push. Like, hey, you didn't have the fucking strength and courage to do it on your own, but now y'all have to, and you'll figure it out. I mean, it could even be, in some crazy way, it could have even been some angelic force, like, hey, we need people to change this system going into the age of Aquarius. So they got to stop working these fucking shitty day jobs for these corporations where they're not really doing any good work. It's not really helping anything. It's helping contribute to this fucking corrupt system. What do we do about this? Huh? Let's basically put them in a situation where they either have to choose between staying working for that shit, which they don't like anyway. They already are not feeling good about doing it. Make them choose between that or, you know, getting the jab. And a lot of them will just quit and they'll form a breakaway society. So the breakaway society is happening, and it has to happen, and it's what I've always wanted to do since I really got into this searching for truth. And it all started for me around 2008. I saw Zeitgeist, took mushrooms for the first time. I started reading quantum physics books with Stephen Hawking, which is ironic now because, you know, we're all like, Stephen Hawking was he even really a guy saying that shit? But anyway, it's just funny. But, you know, I got into the quantum physics stuff is important though for this creating the reality. I'm sorry for the weird rambling. This is a weird video. But anyway, when I started getting into that shit back then, I got real into like the doomsday, everything's gonna just be destroyed, disaster, 2012 is the end of the world, that shit. Good thing about it was it mentally prepared me, because I remember sitting in a restaurant with my dad circa 2010 or some shit like that, just looking around like, man, all these people are gonna be dead. Like, not necessarily from natural causes or any of that, it's just like all these people are gonna die because of the end time or because of the fucking reset or the apocalypse of the anarchy, whatever the fuck. But you know, now they're openly talking about the Great Reset, like a year or two after alternative researchers are all coined the term, basically saying, oh yeah, we had these resets in the past and they happened actually not that long ago, and these floods happened not that long ago. So, you know, all this shit about Noah's Ark, maybe it was even more recent than we're told, and the history is all fucked up, and there's like 1,000 years missing here and 1,000 years added here. Well, I guess it's, 1,000 years were added in. So really Christ was maybe 1,000 years ago, not 2,000, but I digress. Point is really mentally prepared for the fucking shit to go down. Not necessarily physically prepared. I mean, there's a lot more prepping that could be done. I wasn't one of these prepper people. I mean, I've always been into collecting survival gear, and being prepared, but I never went crazy with it, which, looking back, I kind of wish I did. You know, I wish I'd stockpiled like a lot of stuff, but it don't matter, dude. It's all about, because even the people who do that, unless they're following the path of intuition, following God, and really fight this fucking system, they're gonna be a victim of it too. They're gonna be become a part of it, because the thing about this that seems true is it's gonna get most people, even all of the fucking church leaders and stuff, but most people are already suckered into this shit that's going on now. People who should know better. And, you know, for some of us who were already aware, when this shit started happening, we look out our fucking window and we go, dude, this is not only the most, like, not only is this all insanity and a complete fucking hoax, but it's the biggest, it's like the worst, stupidest fucking one yet. Which kind of goes along with something I talked about a few videos back, where these fucking stupid ass hoaxes, like, you know, the moon landing or any of that shit, the more they keep pulling off, you know, like all the bang events, the big mass shootings that are fake, each one is fucking worse than the one before. And it's to the point, like, none of us probably even research this shit anymore, because what's the fucking point of still looking into it? It's just, you see the pattern. You don't automatically go, oh, they're all fake, because that's just another end of the spectrum, right? That's playing the duality game. Oh, they're all real, they're all fake. Well, you don't want to fucking be on this pillar or that. You want to be on the middle pillar. You just understand that, oh yeah, almost every fucking one I've ever looked into ends up being that way. And you don't have to research shit. If you ever see shit come up, headlines, it's just like so obvious now. You see the patterns of how these things work. So when the pretend pandemic started happening, I mean, this shit was just too fucking obvious, dude. It, like, so obvious. But unless you have really looked into this shit for years now, you know, the truther rabbit holes that are dangerous to get sucked in, but inevitably they're fucking probably necessary to some degree or another. That shit's what prepared us. Like, how else could anybody have not been suckered into this shit? You know? Like, did anybody really stand a chance unless they were, like, these truther super soldiers, like some of us? It's really something to think about. Like, because as much as it's obvious to me, and I'm like, oh my god, how y'all fucking fall for this shit. Also, part of me is like, you know, they didn't stand a fucking chance, man. Like, sorry, but these people have mocked me for so long, thinking everything I was into was bullshit, and now look what they're doing. So, you know, it's time to really just make the real new society. I need to start farming. I know that's like my next thing. I need to start growing food. My previous attempts did not go so well. But I don't have a plot of land or a yard to do it. I was just trying to grow plants in my apartment, and my balcony doesn't get any sun. But I'm about to move out of this place pretty soon here in a few months, so the next step is to find land, a yard that gets sun that we can grow food in. But that's really for me. I know I need to be doing that, and I know I need to be making these videos. I don't really know completely what else. Besides, I know I need to keep doing Qigong, because that's very much helping. But this fucking shit, dude, these times are happening. Like, something to consider. I mean, even if it doesn't happen, you might as well live like it is, because your generations to come after need to live like that too. Be prepared for this. Because there's been generations and generations of people preparing the world for the Antichrist. So you might as well prepare the world, or prepare yourself and your people for surviving and getting through those times, because you don't want to take the mark of the beast. Just saying that now. Also, any kind of new ID cards that get put out, like that vaccine ID card and shit, any new IDs, just don't get them, because they're going to be closer to the everything is getting closer and closer to this beast system. I mean, that's what the real ID is about. That's what the passport, the microchip in it was about. The microchip that's in the debit and credit cards, that's what that's about. Eventually, it all will go to one card. It will be your ID, your money, and probably your medical records, it seems, all in one card, and it will be like a passport for the One World Order. But it's not just gonna like happen instantly, get changed into that. Like, it's gradually, you see every form of ID we have is gradually getting more towards that technology. But I mean, they don't need the chip right now. Everybody's got a phone, pretty much. That's the chip. But it's not just that. Eventually it will all be a microchip implanted, which I know sounds like maybe we were wrong about that, because, you know, when you go so far down the conspiracy rabbit holes, you see in post-conspiracy, you see how the conspiracies are the conspiracies, and it's like, oh yeah, we'll tell them this is happening. You know, do they really need a chip? Everybody's got a phone. But I mean, I think eventually it will get to the point they want everybody to have a chip, because you can throw a card away, you can throw a phone away, and this system can only go on lies for so long. Eventually it will be outright open, out front tyranny, and there will be outright intimidation and fear tactics. I mean, there already is, but it will be like, hey, guess what? Like, you know, Satan is the ruler of the world openly. Worship him or die. But, you know, a lot of people are gonna just do it because they want to eat. They don't want to die. Which is sad, because people don't really see that they have an immortal soul, and there's more at stake here than just your physical body. I've rambled on. This video wasn't very structured, but I think I just needed to get my thoughts out. I don't want to end it quite yet. I feel like I have a few more things coming. But you'll see how people just want to live the comfortable life. They want to go to their job and come home to their house, their cookie cutter house, and all that kind of shit. Like, you know, and for a lot of us, for the people I'm trying to reach out to, well, maybe not. Maybe I want to reach out to those people too, but can't force them to see what I'm talking about. It's just, I remember talking to a guy I used to work with, and he had kind of more of like this hippie-ish mindset where, yeah, he was open to talking about this kind of stuff, but he didn't really care. Like, he wasn't like a researcher, and he was just like, in the end, he's just like, you know, talk about this stuff and these conspiracies and the agendas, but he's like, you know, but we had a driving job. We were both in this vehicle driving, and he was like, you look out there and everybody's going to work, so everything's fine. And to me, I thought, and I wish I had said this to them. I didn't, because I felt so hard. I felt distanced from him when he said that. It was so hard to reach him or relate, because to me, I was like, well, that's the sign that everything's wrong. Like, people are just still going to their jobs, like everything's okay. And you know, so that was the big difference there. And that's kind of the mentality of the people who want to stay in this age of Pisces, or they just want to stay in this like soft tyranny world where it's like, yeah, there's a lot of shit that's bad, but most of it isn't happening to me. I got a pretty decent life living in my little apartment or whatever, my house, my possessions. Like, it's fine, right? That was the mentality of those people that didn't want to change anything. But then, you know, for people like me who are like, nah, dude, I know about the corruption in the world. I don't want to just cannot keep doing this 9 to 5s, going to these shitty fucking jobs that, it doesn't matter how prestigious your job is, what are you actually doing? What work are you doing? And, I mean, it's just like the existential destruction of doing that so much. It's just like, I know personally myself, it's not for me. I won't keep doing it. And I'm in the process of phasing out of that and going into something better. But no, like, just this What they expect us now to wear these fucking masks and inject some fucking experimental genetic miscegenation into us in order to keep going to the shitty jobs we didn't like in the first place. How much fucking time have we wasted at these places? And how much more are we willing to waste? It's time to, and time is running out, like, and speeding up. So more progress will be made in a shorter amount of time, I think, but also it feels like there's less time to do stuff. But we're moving out of this shit. Like, they want to tell us I don't have to go to a shitty job anyway because I don't get vaccinated. Cool. I don't want to go to those fucking shitty jobs. We'll figure out another way to live. Because it's about time. It needed to happen already, but it's happening now because people are basically getting forced. I mean, there's always a choice, and that's the thing about the mark of the beast too, is it's going to be a choice. Whether or not you get it, you're gonna have to say, hey, I willingly allow myself to get it. Now, the choice might be between that or death, or that and starvation, but I assure you that is going to be better than taking it. Everything that is promised to the people who take it will only last for like a few months, and then they'll lose it all, and they'll be worse off than the people who didn't. For instance, the food. Yeah, they might be offered good, nice food for taking the mark, and the people who don't take the mark have to eat shitty food or just starve. That'll only last for a very short time, and then the people who have the mark will be starving too, and they'll be starving even worse because it's supposed to increase their hunger sevenfold. So, just something to think about. Look up Sylvie New Earth, the New Earth channel. She has a whole playlist on these end times prophecies I've been listening to. And if you take it seriously, you might want to check that out because it'll give you a lot of information to kind of know what's coming and be prepared. But also, as dark of a topic as it is, it makes me less afraid when I listen to it. It makes me, probably because, having the knowledge actually makes me more likely to get through it. And so that in itself is comforting enough when I'm listening to it. But all of her research is fantastic. So I really recommend her whole channel. Also, the Legends of History channel just recently made a video on the Mark of the Beast, which is fantastic. All of its videos are good, but I just thought, the timing on making that video was just boom, like, just wow, that's funny. And his take on it's always good. He has more of like the I would say the exoteric, normal, like mainstream-ish interpretations, which there's nothing wrong with. Those are important. But they're real good when it comes to the Bible, because he makes like he gets the message and the story out of it. So I listen to him when I want like my literary, like exoteric interpretations, and then I go and listen to Vat City when I want more like an esoteric, abstract, sublime interpretation. Not that one is right and one's wrong. They're both right. It's just that there's different layers of things. But yeah, don't take that fucking mark, guys. And if you have, or if you've taken the vaccine, whatever, I'm not saying you're fucked, because we can't judge and we can't know. Only the Creator is allowed. Only the Most High can be the real judge of, what your redemption of your soul or whatever. But just, think about it. Think about everything you're doing right now. Think about how the mark is in the process of being implemented. So just think about every action will either probably help you away from that or lead you towards that. And quit watching the fucking news in the media, if you do at all. And it's bad because you don't even really want to log. Like, some of the worst places to see shit is like the front page of some of these social media sites like Twitter and Reddit. I don't really know. Just any of them that's going to show you, like, whatever's going on the screen and the stage. Like, that shit is really not good. Especially now because more and more, like, demonic frequencies and shit are coming through that. More and more mind control. It's just best to stay away from it. So, you know, I know with all the crazy things happening out there, they can kind of get you to watch it, or kind of try to get your attention, but don't, because when the fucking Antichrist is out, like, he will just hypnotize people, and you don't want to be paying attention. And it could happen right, like, it could happen today. It could already be happening right now. It's supposed to be so sudden when it does happen that no one really expects it. You know, like, we saw it coming for years now, right? But, like, the day it does actually happen, it will be quick. So, you know, and then if it doesn't happen, cool, but we're still gonna go live in a cottage in the woods. I mean, fuck this shit. And you're gonna have to if it does happen. You're gonna have to go in the woods to survive if you don't want the mark. And I assure you don't want it, because any evil that could be done to you is bad enough, but if you take that mark, you'll be the one doing the fucking evil. People who take the mark will do the most horrendous things, so, because their minds will be completely under control of the devil. So yeah, I know, I'm sorry to bring all this on you guys watching this, but it's true. I mean, I saw a video of Melody Z a few months back. She's a channel I like, and she watches mine. She was filming all these homes being built, these, you know, these big houses that look like rich people houses. It was like out in the country, but they're building, like, you know, they're just doing the same cookie cutter. Every house is right next to the other, big rich looking houses. But and she was saying, you know, these houses were like $30,000 or $50,000 like a month or so ago, and now they've jumped up to $450,000. And the roofing is all made out of just cheap particle board garbage. She's all like, yeah, that's so they can just tear them down easily when the reset happens. And I heard that, and I knew that was true. Like, when she said it, it just, yep, that resonates with me. It makes sense. So a lot of people are like, I don't know, I guess they just thought they could get ahead in the world by taking the jab. And those are the same people probably kind of moving into those homes right now. Not necessarily all of them, I don't know, but it's just seems to be the general stereotype, because those people, like I was saying before, they just want to go back to how things were. They think that is, you know, now that's their idea of an ideal world, which is fucked, because it was already bad. I think that's enough, though, guys. Oh, look at that. Stopping on 33 minutes. Fucking hilarious. I don't even know if I'm going to upload this video, but I'll watch it over and see if I said anything worth repeating or worth y'all hearing. Anyway, thanks for watching if you did make it this far. Like, holy shit. That's a lot of attention. Anyway, take care, y'all. Peace.